Left 4 Dead isn't just another zombie shooter, it's a game that defined co-op gaming for a generation. Whether you are on PC racking up custom campaigns or on Xbox 360 blasting infected from your couch with friends, your experience might not be the same. Today, we're going to break down the real differences between the Xbox 360 and the PC versions of Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, and explore what made them similar and reveal why PlayStation never got these games, and take a deep dive into how these games came to life in the first place. Our story starts in the mid-2000s with Turtle Rock Studios, the team behind Counter-Strike Condition Zero's later development. They were experimenting with a new Source Engine project that was inspired by zombie films, Resident Evil 4's pacing, and an intense teamwork of Counter-Strike. At first, it wasn't called Left 4 Dead. It was a co-op zombie mod for Counter-Strike Source, but Valve saw something special. They bought Turtle Rock Studio in 2008, gave the project full support, and the result was Left 4 Dead, released in November that year. The main hook? The AI Director. This system monitored how well or badly you were doing, then adjusting enemy spawns, weapon locations, and even the music to control the game's pacing. The goal was to make it feel like a zombie movie every single time you played. Intense moments followed by breathing room, then sudden chaos. This was revolutionary in 2008, especially for co-op shooters. Let's get the obvious out of the way. The PC had better graphics and performance even in 2008. Average gaming PCs could run Left 4 Dead at higher resolution, smoother frame rates, and with more detailed textures. The Xbox 360 version was capped at 30 frames per second, with some textures and lighting downgrades to fit the console's hardware limits. Shadows were softer, draw distance was slightly reduced, and load times were longer compared to the decent PC, especially if you were running an SSD years later. Controls were another difference. On the PC, you had precision of the mouse and keyboard, vital for quick headshots and reacting to special infected. On the Xbox, you had the controller aim assist, which helped you balance the experience, but still felt different. For casual players, couch co-op on the Xbox was great. For competitive players, PC was the clear choice. This is where things really split. PC players got updates much faster and DLCs was free thanks to Valve's Steam platform. On the Xbox 360, Microsoft rules required developers to charge for major DLCs. This meant Crash Course, The Passing, and The Sacrifice all cost money on the Xbox, even though PC players got them for free. Here's the biggest deal breaker for many players: mods. On PC, Steam Workshop made Left 4 Dead a playground of custom campaign, skins, weapons, and even crossover content from other games and movies, and even custom game modes. Xbox players, no mods. What you bought is what you got. Even now, with the Xbox store being gone, finding a physical copy, you do not get the DLCs anymore. Despite the difference, both platforms shared the same core experience. 4 survivors working together, same campaigns, storyline, and special infected, the same AI director system, split screenplay officially on Xbox, and possible with console commands on PC. Both versions were built on the Source Engine, so the gameplay feel was very similar at its core.
The PlayStation 3 makes my life as a software developer much harder. All of a sudden I'm supposed to figure out how to have this asymmetrical, multi-threaded game, right? And I've never written a single line of multi-threaded code ever, right? It's not like I was like lying awake saying, I need to re-architect every line of code I've ever written in order to get it to work. So one of my junior programmers who's writing game code rather than system code could slow things down by, in a real world case, by a factor of 80, because they're doing something out in the AI or in the game DLL, which used to be totally safe, and now all of a sudden the whole system just slows down. And then one of the really experienced programmers have to go in and say, oh, you can't tell that you're doing this, you ran out of registry space and this other thing happened, and no, there's no debugger that shows this to you. And writing for SPEs and writing in a PlayStation 3 environment, it's like there are incredibly few programmers who can safely write code in that environment. You make tiny little changes to code running on one of the SPEs and the entire thing will grind to a halt. And you have no visibility into why that's happening. It's just sort of magically running really, really slow.
Now for the burning question, why no PlayStation version? It comes down to the timing and relationships. In the mid-2000s, Valve's co-founder Gabe Newell was famously critical of the PlayStation 3. He called it a waste of everybody's time and complained about its complicated architecture. The source engine at the time was already built for the PC and the Xbox 360, similar architectures. Porting the PS3 would require a massive amount of extra work. Combine that with Valve's small internal teams and focus on supporting PC and Xbox, and PS3 simply never made the cut. By the time Valve finally warmed up to Sony with Portal 2 in 2011, Left 4 Dead's main life cycle was winding down. The community experience also ended up being very different. On PC, the modding scene has kept the game alive for over a decade. New campaigns, HD textures, special infected skins, even crossover mods. If you can imagine it, it's probably out there. On the Xbox 360, things started out strong, but slowed as matchmaking got harder and Microsoft moved on from the console. Without mods, replay value eventually relied solely on the original campaigns. And again, with the physical copies, the Xbox 360 marketplace no longer existing, DLCs no longer exist for you to buy on the 360. Left 4 Dead 2 eventually became the definitive version, especially on the PC. Valve even merged the original Left 4 Dead campaigns into it for free. The series inspired an entire wave of co-op shooters, from World War Z to even Warhammer 40k Darktide, Vermintide 1 and 2, and Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood is created by the original developers of Left 4 Dead, Turtle Rock Studios. When they got acquired by Valve, they dropped the name Turtle Rock Studios and became Valve South. While they're trying to develop Left 4 Dead games for the community at a fast pace, Valve did not like that. With disagreements, the Valve South left and reformed Turtle Rock Studios, developing Evolve and Back 4 Blood. But ask players today, and you'll hear the same thing. Nothing has truly replaced the chaotic magic of Left 4 Dead. So, Xbox or PC, which side were you on? Did you live the couch co-op, or did you mod the game until it was unrecognizable? Drop your stories in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe for more gaming history, and I'll see you in the next video.